Hey everybody, I've got a story here and it's called The Great Possum Creek Drought. Wally Wombat gave a sigh as he cast a troubled eye on the rolling hills that once had been so green. Months of unrelenting drought had transformed it without a doubt into what was now a brown and dusty scene. Wongi Lake was almost dry. They must find a new supply of fresh water, or alas, within a week. Though the notion might appall, every creature, large and small, would be forced to leave the town of Possum Creek. Big Red Kangaroo was stressed, and it's truthful to suggest that his hop had been reduced to half or less. Platypus was grim. There was nowhere left to swim, and poor Ed Galah was really just a mess. 'Twas Professor Cockatoo who at length expressed his view that he'd have to find a way and find it quick. "I'm afraid," he said, "it's plain that it's not about to rain. I'll design a new device to do the trick." So he locked himself away for a weekend and a day, and he thought and clanked and banged and clanked and thought. All the creatures crossed their paws as it was such a vital cause, and they hoped his efforts wouldn't come to naught. Then one morning it was done, and there, shining in the sun, stood the most peculiar, strangely shaped machine. It had 7 gleaming rows of steel teeth upon its nose, and it looked like a giant jelly bean. The professor, clearly proud, then addressed the gawking crowd and told them with a great amount of zeal, "I propose, dear friends, to go on a mission down below in my turbocharged, terrific Dig-Mobile. There is water cool and sweet, many meters neath our feet, and I'm sure I can locate it with your aid." And with little more ado, by his old familiar crew, joined the scholar for his brand new escapade. The professor threw a switch, and with a tremble and twitch, she jerked into life and bored into the ground. There was nothing to be seen through the special toughened screen as she plunged on with a rumbling, roaring sound. Peter Possum sang a song as they clanked and whirred along. Everyone was brave, for so much was at stake. Through the red clay and shale and rock, with a shudder and a shock, they broke through into the great artesian lake. They could not escape their fate. The water pressure was so great that it carried all before it. Yes, indeed. There was nothing they could do. Backwards up the shaft they flew, to the surface at quite amazing speed. Through the air, upon that spout, the Dig-O-Mobile came shooting out. The creatures trembled, but upon that lucky day, they missed houses, rocks and trees, and crash-landed, if you please, very softly in a mouldy stack of hay. Well, the water flowed so fast that before the week had passed, Wongi Lake had reached its highest level yet, and the good professor's bore would ensure forevermore that in future droughts would never pose a threat. And that's the end of the Great Possum Creek Drought.